Over 1,600 people were removed from Virginia's voter rolls right before the election. The lefties are upset. They're in a full-blown tizzy. Some of them are reporting getting the vapors, whatever that is. But Governor Glenn Youngkin isn't backing down. He's cracking down on illegal voting, and it's got the Biden administration and the lefties in a panic. Now, I'm going to try to break this down for you so that you understand exactly what's really going on outside of what the lamestream media is trying to tell you. Let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Now, please subscribe, hit that notification bell, smack that like button because it helps us with the algorithm to get our message out to more people. Now, we're doing a live stream tomorrow night at 6 o'clock Eastern, Friday night, 6 o'clock Eastern. We're going to read some interesting news stories of the week. We're going to tweak them with a bit of humor, a dash of sarcasm, and a whole lot of conservative common sense. Please come join us. You'll have a good time. All right, let's get straight into this. Virginia's Governor Glenn Youngkin has been working hard to make sure Virginia elections are fair and secure. It's what the American people deserve. But what does he get in return? Lawsuits, of course. Over 1,600 people, non-citizens, were about to be removed from the voter rolls, and the Biden administration and a bunch of far-left activist freaks are having a meltdown over it. So here's what happened. Since early August, people, Virginia's been cleaning up the voter rolls by removing suspected non-citizens. Now, I say suspected non-citizens because these people actually identified themselves as non-citizens as they were registering to vote in an election where only citizens can vote. Now, personally, I think these people are too stupid to be here. I mean, they should be deported for that alone. The IQ of Americans would go up exponentially with the more dumbasses that we deport like that. But okay. But this seems logical, right? If you're not a citizen, you shouldn't be voting. The Democrats disagree, but that's the law. Now, here's the thing. At least some of these people, a small number, may have actually been U.S. citizens that got caught up on the list. Now, their situation will be remedied, if it hasn't already, before Tuesday. They're going to be able to vote, no problem. Now, cue the federal court drama. A judge named Patricia Tolliver Giles stepped in and said, "Hold up, Virginia. You can't just kick these people off the rolls like that. And their little dog, too." The state argued that the purge wasn't as bad as it sounds. They said it wasn't some big systematic effort, but more of an individualized process. Still, the left-wing court wasn't having it. So Virginia took their case all the way to the Supreme Court. Yeah, the highest court in the land. They asked the Supreme Court to put a pause on the judge's ruling. And guess what? The Supremes, they granted that request. But of course, we got some drama from the lefties on the bench, too. Justices Sonia Sotomayor, Elena Kagan, and Ketanji Brown Jackson were like, nah, we wouldn't have blocked the judge's order. But no explanations came from them either, which is typical. In other words, the three far-left justices on the U.S. Supreme Court would have allowed self-identified non-citizens to vote, obviously, for Kamala Harris. That level of insanity has now reached the Supreme Court, guys. So what's really going on here? Well, Youngkin's order, signed back in August, directed the DMV to start sending state election officials data daily to help figure out who might be a non-citizen. Now, once flagged, these folks had 14 days to provide their citizenship information or get booted off the voter rolls. It's all part of his plan to crack down on illegal voting, a problem we all know exists, even though the mainstream media pretends it doesn't, because they are the bootlicking sycophants of the Democrats. But the Biden administration, along with a bunch of far-left activist groups, quickly jumped in to challenge the whole thing. They're all screaming that Youngkin's order violates the National Voter Registration Act's quiet period provision, which supposedly stops states from removing voters within 90 days of a federal election. That's interesting timing, don't you think? Right before a big election, suddenly this becomes an issue. Coincidence? I don't think so. What if, just what if, bad actors moved all of these people onto voter rolls as quietly as they could within that 90-day period? I can absolutely see the Democrats turning the NVRA into a weapon that way. Folks, if that's what they did, then they are using the law as a weapon, which is something that Democrats pretty much always do. Now, here's where things get sketchy. According to U.S. Solicitor General Elizabeth Prelogar, the DMV was basically just cranking out lists of suspected non-citizens, comparing them with other databases, and bam, people were getting kicked off the rolls. No careful review, no double checking. Some local registrars even said that they had to cancel registrations, even when it was clear that the evidence showed that the person was a citizen. But sure, let's all pretend this is about protecting democracy, right? It's about the Democrats want to cheat. Now, Prelogar also said that Youngkin's program is exactly the kind of systematic voter purge that's banned by the quiet period rule. But here's the interesting part. Youngkin's team argued this wasn't some last-minute power grab. They said the process gave people 2 chances to fix any mistakes about their citizenship. That sounds pretty fair to me, right? Well, the courts didn't think so, but the Supreme Court put that ruling on ice. So the fight continues. And if you think this is just about Virginia, think again, guys. This case could have huge implications for how states handle voter rolls across the country. It's a major showdown between election integrity and what some are calling voter suppression. Now, I would argue that the largest voter suppression program is when Democrats bring in between 18 and 20 million illegal aliens, with hundreds of thousands of them registering to vote, and each time one of them votes, they suppress an American citizen's vote. But spoiler alert, it's not about suppressing votes. It's about making sure the right people are voting, legal U.S. citizens. The Democrats are beyond that. They look at illegal aliens as unregistered Democrats, and believe me, if it was known that the overwhelming majority of illegal aliens voted for Republicans, the Democrats would start a program to catapult them across the Rio Grande 24/7. So what's next? The courts still have to sort this mess out. And one thing's for sure, Governor Youngkin isn't backing down, and this battle is far from over. Will the courts side with election integrity or cave to political pressure over people who don't even belong here and shouldn't be voting? Now, only time will tell, but stay tuned because we'll give you updates as the courts rule on the case. All right. Thank you for watching. Subscribe and hit that notification bell if you want to be kept up to date with all the latest news on Democrats fighting to keep illegals on voter rolls, disguising it as trying to save democracy. I'll see you in the next one. Spread the word.